you hear my accent, come from Trinidad, all my family from Trinidad. I have no family in Canada, never came to Canada prior to coming to George Brown, so it was all very new. But in life, you just have to dive right in, right? You gotta let that fire kind of build you. All right, morning, happy to be here. Two amazing professors, Winnie and Leah. I'm not gonna lie, school is a different kind of situation compared to work, regular life. You gotta wake up early, you gotta listen to these lectures, you know what I mean? I know how it is. Sometimes you don't wanna come. I know how it is. So I appreciate you all even being here, taking the time to listen to what I have to say early in the morning. I don't know if you all drink your coffee yet. I know you know. I know how it is. So I'll keep it short, brief, to the point. So I came to George Brown. It was an interesting experience, only one semester. So met like one handful of people. COVID came, everything went online. All the people I knew just dropped out. Me, unfortunately, I'm an international student, and my parents are like, you have to finish this shit. We paid for it. Sorry, excuse my language. I can't drop out and things. I have to do it. I was doing it online. It was a crazy experience. Before I came to George Brown, I was doing the clothes. I did that in high school in Trinidad. So like 2014, I was just doing clothes, accessories, anything you could think of. Like the first thing I made was like pins, because I like functional things, everyday things. So sometimes not everybody could spend money on a t-shirt or shoe, but like a little pin, you could just throw that on something and it's functional, right? And it's cost effective. So that was like the first thing I ever made, pins. Fast forward in 2021, like post-pandemic, transitioned into shoes, and here we are today. So I still make clothes, still make accessories, but one of my focuses is more so on the footwear now. So that's a bit about my journey. Some of the key milestones or proud moments, I would say, is that one, I released some shoes at Adrift in Toronto. You all know Adrift, very cool store. That was like my second release because I just made the first batch of shoes online, like I said, during the pandemic, 2020, 2021, that area. And then I did more colorways, and I wanted to have like a proper store outreach. People could see the shoes in person, and Adrift partnered with me, and we made that happen. Another cool thing, I did a shoot for Arc'teryx in New York. This was right when there were, well, everyone here is Canadian, so like, we know about Arc'teryx, but before Arc'teryx was like Arc'teryx nowadays, this is when they were on the verge and they were really breaking through into the mainstream. Like all the rappers started wearing it, and they were very persistent on having skateboarders and people who are in the streets represent. So I got the opportunity to do a feature for them in New York, talk about my brand, meshing my brand with the outdoor lifestyle, and that came through LinkedIn. So don't underestimate LinkedIn. I was trying to get a job. They didn't want to hire me, but they were like, I like what you do. Let's do this instead. So don't underestimate LinkedIn and reaching out to people. You're going to hear a lot of no's. You might get no responses at all, but you know, keep trying because you never know, because that one person will respond. Because like I said, I didn't expect that to happen. I was just trying to get a job, you know? Like they tell you in George Brown, reach out to people, That's just two cool mementos in the journey.
That's very cool. I didn't know about the Arc'teryx.
Yeah, that was 2021. That was while I was doing George Brown.
Amazing.
Because when the pandemic happened, I had to move to my aunt's house in New York. And I was still doing the school online. And I was trying to get a job there. And I hit this guy up from Toronto. But he was like, oh, well, you're not in Toronto, I can't do anything, but I'll pass the connect to the marketing guy in New York and
Very
Yeah.
And all online.
Yeah, all on just through talking, and then they brought me to the store, pick out some gear.
I think the shoe does speak for itself. I did see the shoe.
Right.
And I'll hold my story.
So this was another cool collab that I did with Oasis Skateboard Factory. Oasis is a alternative Toronto district high school. It's on Bathurst and Dundas. I used to skate. Well, I still skate. I used to skate a lot at Dunbar. There's a skate park right there. And my memories are a little vague, but just one thing led to another because the school was right there. And we ended up collabing on this product. It was a hoodie and a skateboard deck that they handmade, the students handmade, which was sick. I just gave them the design brief, which was just Trinidad flora and fauna. So the animals and plants that you would see in Trinidad mixed with Toronto, and this is what they came up with. I just gave them the brief and the kids did that. So I was really stoked on that. It was like a nice, fun project. Shout out Oasis Skateboard Factory. They do a lot of good work with a lot of students, and because it's like a school that teaches you to build a skateboard brand, and then you get your high school diploma. Like where I'm from in Trinidad, like that's like not a thing at all. So to be able to go to that school is sick, and to work with them. And again, just reaching out to people and having conversations, because you might have a conversation with someone today and it mightn't develop into something now, but a year from now, 2 years from now, you never know. But just have that intention, that pure intention. Yeah, we actually did a pop-up. Sorry, I didn't include the picture. They had a pop-up with some other products that they did, and they had the skateboard in there and the hoodies in there. And yeah, it was really cool. Another moment, you've seen all the colors, right? So this is a collab that's recent with Play the Record. It's a record shop that's on Spadina as well. But this guy, Eugene, he's a Trinidadian Chinese man, pioneer in the music scene in Toronto. He had a big store up on Yonge Street back in the 90s. Like, he's like that guy when it comes to records. I see my guy in the front here, you know about Play the Record. Yeah, he's a legend. And we had this collab in the works, but then OVO hit him up, and we was like, okay, you do your OVO first and then Jive after. You know? No, I wanted it that way. Yeah, I wanted it that way. Like, do your OVO Canadian thing and then come bring a organic Trinidadian collab. So these t-shirts are actually still in the store. They're in store only. I think we only just put them online because it's been an ongoing collab, because they sell out and people keep asking about it, so we keep doing it more. But yeah, sick collab. I made the graphic art for this. We call it the Calypso shirt. Just very Trinidadian, and I was going for a retro design. And I'll talk more about that as we go on in the next slide. Right now, the Jive shoes are only sold in Japan. This is a store in Osaka called Nasu Yoso. Very intimate store. There are a lot of stores in Japan. As everyone would know, Japan is very huge on the streetwear scene. They're always looking for the next new thing. Me personally, I like small connections, intimate connections. So I could have gone to all the big stores like Prov, Tokyo, etc., etc. But I had a relationship with this guy that I met through Instagram, again, and laundry shoes there in his store in Osaka. And what's cool about this store is that he only sells his own apparel, this eyewear brand called Crap from California, and then my shoes, Jive. And so this is the only shoes in the store. So volume, I decide volume. Again, like I said, I like intimacy. I like exclusivity. We only did 20 pairs this first launch, and I put some extra in because, I don't know, I'm sometimes a little kind and I appreciate the order, so I put some extra in, and then you build, like, people see it, and then that way you have a couple extras. So let's say the coconut. So the coconut is the brown tone that you see there. Let's say that sells out. He doesn't need to have to worry to particularly ask me to ship more. He already has a couple sizes, and, you know, hopefully it works out. Shipping, I shipped that from Toronto, so it wasn't too much of an ordeal because Japan and Canada still has good relationships. Everything is kind of mainly right now with the US. Right. Yeah. So yeah, that wasn't too dramatic or anything like that. I'm not gonna lie, I'll give you all some tips. Sometimes I mark down costs so they don't have to pay high duties, but there was one time I did that. I shipped the shoes to Turks and Caicos, and I always ask the customer, because it's a risk, right? And they were down for me to do that. I marked the shoes as $20, but the shoes got lost. Yeah. So then when you claim that back, you only getting back $20. And that was the one time that something like that happened. And I mean, it's kind of a difficult situation because the customer wanted me to do that. It's not like I decided to do that. So you could be very wary about that, but oftentimes customs could be a pain, especially like even trying to ship things to Trinidad from anywhere. You pay a lot in customs, sometimes double, triple, more than the actual item. So like again, I try to help people and don't incur such a heavy cost, but it's a risk when you do things like that. So yeah, but shipping this to Japan, by the grace of God, it was very smooth and we did not have any hiccups. It actually got there faster. I used Stallion Express. It's an e-commerce shipping provider. They have great international rates. It takes a bit longer than UPS or FedEx because how they work is, sorry, I can't remember the name offhand, but it's basically connecting with different couriers and like the mail systems of each country to get a package somewhere, as opposed to UPS, DHL, who has their own delivery line. Just to touch back on the drop with Nasu Yoso, we just did a collab with the in-store brand called Ms. Naz Hayes. So this is a crew neck that I designed. In Trinidad, there's a lot of import with vehicles, so I just wanted to create a design that shows the parallel of cultures. So roll-on, roll-off trucks. And then the next hoodie was one that the owner over there did, which is just features the shoes and some plants. So we just did a nice little memento for the drop in the store. Okay, so there's the two things I want to leave you all with today. I don't want to overwhelm you all. Two things: color within a brand, longevity of design. Color within a brand, longevity of design. Now, there's a lot of things that goes into building a brand, as you can imagine, a million things. But to me, these are two important things that you want to keep at the forefront of your mind when you're building a brand, building a product. Going back to the Adrift release, you're seeing two artworks here. All right? Seeing two artworks. On the left is an old Vans ad from the 80s that I sourced and found, and it just spoke to me amongst a bunch of different references that I had. A lot of times in design or clothes, I feel like you would hear that nothing is new, which is somewhat true. I would say like 85% true, because there are new things, there are new concepts, but for the sake of a lot of things, nothing is particularly new. There's a lot of references that go on. Sometimes something is a reference of a reference of a reference, right? It's just how you put your spin on it. And this artwork, I love it because it speaks volumes to longevity of design and color within a brand. Longevity of design, as in this art is from the 80s. I pulled this back for when did I do that Adrift? 2022. So I pulled that back. How much years is that? Like 42 years. And I am 99.99% sure nobody ever referenced this ad, right? Like, if somebody in here could dig deep on the internet and find someone that referenced this ad, please show me. I would love to see it. But to my knowledge, this is the only reference. So if you take a look, it's completely has mementos of JIVE. So I'll break down some. If you look, you see the Trinidad and Canada flag right there. You see the tree shoes that I released at the bottom. You see Yogi, if you all know Adrift, that's like Adrift's little mascot, the dog that they have in the store. They use graphics with him. They drop skateboard decks with him. The little dog there, the black dog. I can't remember what kind of dog that is, but as Yogi, like the Vince Carter jersey, the streetcar in the back, when we did the shoes at the store, we did a Collab sock, so you'll notice like the Collab sock there too. What else? The sunflowers on top there, that was an ode to my mother. My mother loves sunflowers, so very big person in my life, so I had to put that there. The surfboard, island vibes. So again, just color and longevity of design, because you see how picturesque it is. The tones go really well. It's not too loud, but it has a nice tone to it. And longevity of design, you could look at this picture in 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and you're going to be like, oh wow, someone might want to reference this, maybe. When you design things, it's good to have at the forefront of your mind, am I going to like this? Me personally, you personally, whatever you make. Are you going to like this tomorrow? Are you going to like it next week? Are you going to like it in 5 years? And you're going to be biased because you made something, but you should also overlook that bias and critique yourself the hardest. And let's say you make a t-shirt and you like that t-shirt. You don't want to wear the t-shirt tomorrow, but do you still like the design? You understand what I mean? Do you still like it? Could you still look at it and be like, oh yeah, I like this design? You don't have to wear it, but do you still like it going forward? Because in fashion, in life as a person, you grow and you mightn't want to wear the same things. You know, I'm wearing this now, but tomorrow I might want to wear a shirt and a trousers and something else. But could I look back and say, oh, do I like this outfit? So you want to make something that you still like it, you still appreciate it going forward. This was a pop-up that I did in Miami. It's my first and only pop-up. I would say I did a couple of other pop-ups, but this was like my own main pop-up. So you see the theme was like an airline, and I made these custom air hostess suits. You see they're wearing the JIVE shoes as well. Just very nice, clean, picturesque color and longevity. I'm glad it's making you think, because that's why I want to have thoughts going, because you have a conversation and it might make you think about something. I might say something, I might think about something, and it kind of bounces off ideas. But the two things I want to really leave you all with is color within a brand and longevity of design, because color is like 50% of the emotion of a brand. When you see the color of something, that's going to give you that feeling. Also, people like to say black and white are not colors. That's like tomato, tomato. For the sake of color within a brand, I would say black and white are colors. Because a lot of brands now, it's very neutral tones like Jound, etc., etc. It's very neutral tones, but that color still gives the emotion, 50% of the emotion of that product, of that brand. So you really want to hone in on whatever colors you use and you stick to that.
Very interesting, because I think most brands play it safe, just in case the color doesn't resonate after a while. But you know, brands that have picked their color, you know, you do remember them.
Yeah, it's like McDonald's or IKEA, like that yellow. It feels calming, it feels safe, whether you realize it or not. You see McDonald's, you kind of want McDonald's. Like, you go in IKEA, you're like, oh, it's chill in here. But it's color theory. It's really a psychology, and we might not notice it, but I'm here to tell you it's a serious thing, and you should always remember that. And again, longevity of design and color. This is just two random pictures, but not so random from the pop-up. You see their outfits a bit clearly there, and then I made a mouse pad, a coaster, and a laptop sleeve, just cause. Same thing I was saying about functionality, right? I mightn't release these things, but you need a mouse pad, you need a coaster, You need a laptop sleeve, just make one. And this is just 2 shoes that I made that is on release, just so y'all could catch a vibe. You know, maybe if y'all have any colorway names, you know, I mean, obviously this one is very Caribbean, very islandy, very Rasta. But the next one, so the first model to the left is called the La Foucade, which is what I have here today. It's named after a soccer coach from Trinidad, Dion La Foucade. I grew up heavily playing soccer or football, and then I transitioned into the skateboarding. So the premier shoe of JIVE for me had to be a combination of those 2 things, soccer and skateboarding. So that's the silhouette I was going for. The next shoe is called the RJ. It's inspired by like a traditional skateboarding shoe. It's named after a friend of mine that passed away, and just keeping his energy going. And I have a couple of other models, but you guys could, you know, if you're interested, you could go find that and take a look. Like, there's another model I released at Adrift, a high top. That's the only time I did a high top for that Adrift release. And this is a bean bag I made one time for a friend. Again, functionality. A friend wanted a bean bag, he moved in, he hit me up, I made it happen. You know, it's cool to expand your horizons, as I say, and you don't have to focus on it and just be like, oh, I was gonna make bean bags, but take opportunities as you get them and grow out of your comfort zone. So this is the first and only time I made a bean bag. And so I think, yeah, that's the end of the slides. Like I say, I know it's early, I didn't want to overwhelm anybody. I just want you all to focus on color within a brand and longevity of design. If there's anything you all want to ask me, any topics I didn't cover particularly, feel free. I'm open to a conversation. Like, you know, if you all want, just raise your hand, ask a question. I have here my shoe box, the wrapping paper that the shoe comes in, one of the shoes, and then this packaging I use to ship the t-shirts. So again, color and longevity in design, right? See, everything here goes together. It's like ingredients.
Is your like whole process of like designing a shoe and actually like getting it out there, like manufacturing it? And
okay, so like concept to reality, basically. So concept to reality. I design from memory a lot. I'm very inspired by real life and things that I see. Post, like coming to Canada, I've been blessed with the opportunity to travel more because it's cheaper. Like to try to go somewhere from Trinidad is way harder, way more expensive. But being in Canada, I could kind of go to places easier, especially the States. So I'm very inspired by what I see. And for example, this particular shoe, I don't have a name for it. I was just thinking about mangoes a lot. I was eating a lot of mangoes, but in the States, like different mangoes. Because you know there's fruits, right? But every country has different fruits. I think I was somewhere in the States and I just eating a mango from Pakistan. And I just looking at the hues and it just made me think, you know, maybe I should do a very bright shoe. And then, as I said before, the way my mind works is like kind of bounce off ideas. So it started with that mango idea and a bright shoe. And then soccer again. There's a player called Eto'o. He's from Cameroon. He used to play for Chelsea. And I saw the flag and I was just like, okay, I want to make something like that, but change the tones a bit. Like the green is a bit lighter, make it my own. And from there, you get the Pantones. So again, color. You get the proper Pantones. You match it up. You print it out. Make sure. I mean, there'll be a little bit of discrepancy because you're printing out an image onto paper. So it's not going to be the exact same. But that's why there's companies like Pantone, so you could get the actual color code. Break it down. And this is all on the internet. Send it to the factory. They match it up. Boom. You make your sample. And then you get that in hand. I like to personally test my products for a while. Sometimes I make a shoe and I wear the shoe for like a year and a half. to know how I really feel about the shoe. Do I want the shoe to come out? And yeah, from there, so then you decide, okay, maybe I won't release the shoe right now. Maybe I'll do a different color. Because you also get people's opinions. Not that people's opinions matter specifically, but you should take it into consideration, like what they say, with a pinch of salt. Because at the end of the day, it's a business, and your end goal is to make some money. Your end goal is to make your customers, your supporters happy. And yes, you want to make a product that you like. That's number one. But again, you have a pinch of salt. Is people going to receive this well? Because you don't want to make a shoe you just like, and then you have 100 pairs, and then no one likes the shoe. And then what are you going to do? Put it on sale and diminish your value? You dig? So did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name, sorry?
Adam.
Adam. Thank you, Adam.
As like a Toronto small owned business, just asking, I was wondering what is like if someone like literally graduates from college, they know what to do, they want to open their small owned business in Toronto, manufacture in Toronto, blah blah blah, so they get the works, public relations, everything, they got the works, everything, the fundings, everything. I was wondering, is there any like tips and tricks and advice you want to give out for if they finish school and everything else, they got everything else sorted, where they really want to like go straight in for their dreams and their small owned business? Because there's nothing about collaboration with other people or working with a brand, but not everyone's really into that or like it strongly, or they just don't want to work with other people, or they just want to work with people, with friends or family, or just keep it like a kind of a circle-ish at the same, like kind of like a thing, whatever. Similar what you're doing basically. I was wondering, like, is there any tips and advice you want to give out to anyone that's like wanting to like own a small business and they want to do everything basically?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Why? I guess.
Let's say, right, I want to put an analogy. You're going to make a meal, right? You know what you want to make. How many pots can fit on a stove? You get what I'm saying? Some stoves are like 4 burners. I'm just saying, don't overwhelm yourself. You're going to think you could do everything. Maybe you could do everything up until a certain point, but it's going to reach a point where you're like, oh man, I can't do this all by myself. So I would say, start by what are your skills? What are your strengths? What is something that you're willing to learn to take on? And you start from there, and then you see what room you have left. Okay, maybe I'm good at replying to emails, but I don't like to deal with social media. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you can't do it all by yourself. I'm just saying don't, because then you're going to burn yourself out.
You can do it by yourself. You're going to have a team, manufacturers. There's a lot of people helping you, so
Okay.
I was wondering, like, how's that going to work out and plan out? And especially when it comes to certain things like deliveries and stuff, blah, 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 etc. Because I actually met a lot of people with small businesses,
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah.
It's pretty, like, smooth going, to be honest. Not everyone complained, not yet, but at the same time. It's still amazing, but no one's working by themselves. It's just that you're still owning a business. This is your product, your everything, but
Yeah.
you're not alone. I was just wondering, like, it's just amazing progress. I think it's
You're
worth it.
more of the financial side, like how you.
No, I'm not. I'm not that business. I'm focused on everything.
So you're just saying how to do it all by yourself is what you're saying?
No. Basically, like, what I'm saying is, like, when you start your business, you're going to get, like, manufacturers, your team, designers, etc.
Right.
How is that going to plan out? Is there any like advice you want to give out to yourself and also to others, your team and etc.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So
Just how do you choose your manufacturers? How many? When is the right time? That
Okay.
kind of thing.
Basically, what you're doing right now, like
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. What he's doing right now.
oh, how I'm doing everything by myself.
Yeah, you're from Toronto too. Like you're here.
Yeah.
You have a small business in Toronto, and also
He's
it's a
in
really good.
Trinidad.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
But I also like use a lot of. I don't use much things from Toronto, right? So I have manufacturers in South America, in Asia, in Europe. I would say the most that I do in Toronto is just shipping.
Okay.
because that to me is pretty accessible compared to what happened now with this whole Trump thing, which is very new and we're all still dealing with it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Sucks.
So, yeah, that's how I say. But again, this is my journey, and I've been kind of pushed into this corner where I have to take on a lot of roles just because I'll be frank with y'all. I came from Trinidad, right? A lot of people I grew up with, my close friends, they don't care about fashion. Or not only that they don't care, it's just you can't particularly teach someone everything you know. You need to meet people that has that passion for what you're doing. Yeah, you need passionate people.
Seeking help and advice and educating yourself.
Exactly. So I just kind of, and the internet is your best friend. Like, people hit me up sometimes and they're like, oh, can you give me this manufacturer? And not to be rude, but you could literally go on the internet now in 2025 and search sock manufacturer. And a million options are going to come up. You could literally just search anything on Google or even ChatGPT. So the tools nowadays, now you have me thinking, like the tools nowadays, you could even do it more so by yourself now because there's so much AI. But again, I would just advocate for, even if you don't want a whole team of people, it's good to still have one or two other people that could help you along the way in certain aspects. Like her here filming this for me. I couldn't film this for myself and get nice angles. It would have just been some tripod and then I had to go and chop it up, and then I'm going to get someone else now to edit the video because I'm not good at editing. I might be good at taking pictures, taking the video, but editing is not my forte. And next thing you learn to, like after you do so much things by yourself, you realize what you like and what you don't like. I could teach myself to edit, but I don't like to edit. And there's someone out there who loves editing, who's great at editing. So I would advocate just give them the job to do it. Because I don't want to do it. And there's someone out there, they're born to edit.
It's great advice. You know, find those partners rather than doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tito had his hand up.
Also,
establishing a team. Like you're starting off your business and you can't do everything by yourself.
yeah.
But you kind of need people to, like you said, you need to hire this person.
Yeah.
Person. How do you identify who are you gonna hire for your team? Because they have to kind of stick around for a while.
Yeah.
To execute the product, get it out there, create a website, kind of build a relationship. How do you navigate with who you find to pick for your team, hire? What's the hiring process? If it's a hiring process,
Right.
It's just a collaboration. How do you navigate that?
So there's two ways I would say. You could go the systematic route where there's like apps like Fiverr and these kind of avenues where you could just search up and find someone that you don't know specifically. Or if you have someone in your life and they've shown you a lot of interest in not necessarily just having a brand, but just showing you interest in a person and supporting you, and you have a conversation with them, would you like to try helping me ship packages? And you go from there. But it's going to be a lot of trial and error because if it's not someone as passionate, they will start off, as we say in Trinidad, hot and sweaty, and they're all eager. And then 2-3 months down the road, you need them to do something and then they fall off. So that's just going to be a part of the process and you're going to find people, but you need to really assess if that person is passionate enough and you don't give them too much to bite off rip. And then, like I say again, you could even use Fiverr where someone that you just paying and you don't know this person, and for them it's merely transactional. So they're just going to get the job done because it's just a job to them. So maybe a mix of both, but I would say that's how you would find some people. You're Bajan, right?
Yes.
Which parish?
St. James.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the second home, you know.
Yeah, he's right.
Yes, Sorry, I'll do you next, but I remember both of y'all had your hand up, right? Whichever.
I did have one, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're reaching out to a manufacturer, do you have a strategy that works? Like, do you often have the same kind of obstacles? Do you reach out to like a certain department, or and do you have like a design for a shoe pattern, or is it like all the pieces to the shoe?
Right.
And you reach out to them.
Yeah.
And I want to tag on to that. Do they ask for a minimum order quantity?
Yeah.
Question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yes. Again, nowadays things have changed drastically. So back in the day, I would say you would need a whole shoe pattern built out. Nowadays, if you just send someone a picture and some colors, they could just do it for you. And a lot of Chinese manufacturers, this is a trick, you get them to make the mock-up for you. And this costs nothing because they're interested in your business. There's so much competition. There's a million manufacturers. So when you reach out to them, they're going to want to secure your deal because to them is a business, right? So they're going to want to do whatever it takes to land this sale. So if you reach out to them and you're like, I want to make this shoe, I don't have a mock-up, but this is what I want. These are the colors I want. Can you make a mock-up for me? They're going to make it. And you go along the process, so minimum order quantity. They tell you 200 pairs. Shoes is annoying like that. You have to make 1 million. It's not like T-shirts where you could just do 20, 40. But still, you negotiate. Because again, right back to what I was saying, they want your business. They need your business. So you negotiate. So maybe if they say it's 200 minimum, you can say, oh, well, my brand is small. Could you do 150? And then they're like, oh, nah, sorry, we can't. Oh, well, I'll just find another manufacturer. Watch how fast they make that 150. So, yeah, so I have a template because I was doing this a while now, but nowadays I don't think you really need one. Just need to be precise with what you're telling them. Just like a ChatGPT script. You need to be very precise. And then they'll just could help you make the mock-up. And then maybe even take that mock-up and give it to the next manufacturer. All right? Nah, no problem.
Yeah, my question was basically just like that, but I have another one.
Okay.
Like, I've been interested in making shoes and like everything like that, and like, yeah, I was just like curious about how, just like sending the photos, like to do the mock-ups, or like I know for clothing you have to do like tech packs and stuff, for, like certifications, or like I guess they take care of like, the sizing.
No, tech packs are a bit different because with clothes, it's all on fit, the size of the logo, the size of the label on the neck. So that's where tech packs come in. That helps be precise. You can't ask a manufacturer for that because like if you just give them a mock-up and you don't give them any specifications, they're just gonna make that and then you're gonna get a sample that you're like, what the hell is this? This doesn't fit. This logo is way too big. So with tech packs, I would say maybe a George Brown class, or again, like I was saying, with the Fiverr. There's a lot of people on Fiverr, like in Indonesia and these countries, they're just good at tech packs and they'll make a tech pack for you based on what you want. And then you now take your ruler, your measuring tape, whatever, and even look at the clothes you like. Like if you like this particular brand, this jersey, and you're like, oh, you like this label. You like how this label looks. You go measure that label and you're like, okay, so I'm going to use this based off of that. Or the fit of a specific t-shirt or a hoodie. And you measure that and then you go from there, you give that to the factory, you get that sample, and then you're like, oh, I like this, but I want it a bit longer. And, you know, you go from there. So tech packs, factories, maybe they could help, but it still wouldn't, it wouldn't be cohesive. Yeah.
And are you looking to expand into clothing, or are you just focusing on shoes?
No, well, I make clothing. I'm addicted to clothes. Like for me, clothes, since I was young, I just been kind of picking out my clothes. I don't know, my parents just kind of set me up like that. And I love clothes as like an art piece. Like I have a bad habit of just buying clothes and not wearing it. It's very bad. Like it's very bad. Like, not to be vulgar, but you see how some people like drugs and thing. I like clothes. Like I will just have a lot of tees just there. And that's why I kind of started making shoes too, because I love clothes so much. I'm like, okay, I could wear this brand and then still have my shoes on and I'm still pushing my brand, but my t-shirt is a whole next brand. So yeah, I'll always make clothes like this sweater is unreleased. I'm not sure if you all know this artist. His name is Malcolm Emilio, otherwise known as Stay Relevant. He's an artist in Toronto. He just did a recent collab with Birkenstock and Hold Rent Through. So this crew neck is a collab that we might come up with, and he did like the artwork on the back. So yeah, I love clothes, so I'm just gonna keep making clothes, but just kind of, you know, let the shoes be priority and then clothes to complement the shoes. Or if you don't want the shoes, just clothes by itself. Yeah. I think you had a question, yeah?
Yeah. So I know it's supposed to be hard in general, right?
Yeah.
But how was your experience in your first 6 to 12 month grace period in terms of like sales with all your shoes and everything?
It's difficult. It is difficult because the economy is trash right now. And you need to buy groceries, you need to use transit, you want to go hang out with your friends. So it's a tricky question because you kind of have to build a resilience knowing that we're in this field where it's shoes, right? And I'm not going to be mad at someone who wants to buy shoes, but then they're like, bro, something happened, I got to pay rent. I can't be mad at that. So to answer your question is you just kind of have to have a resilience and not necessarily expect the worst, but know that you're not going to get all your sales in one particular month, especially when you grow in the business. And then you kind of have to go out there now and find new customers or make more ways to get the product seen so you can expand that reach beyond your pool and then have people who come and buy in that 6 to 12 month period. Again, I don't really advocate for sales because I think a lot of brands, they make a lot of product, like so much product, and then you see they're having sales, right? So you don't even need to rush to buy something from a brand now because chances are it's going to go on sale. And then even if you don't buy it from the brand, there's some stockist somewhere in the world that's carrying that brand that's going to have it on sale in their store because they couldn't get it sell in their store. So, yeah, I wouldn't say have sales particularly. Unless, like, you know, it's like maybe it's Christmas time and you want to give back. But sales kind of diminish the value of your product. Somebody might be eyeing the shoe for 6 months. And they're going to buy it. They're just waiting for the right time. And then I go and I drop the price in half, and then I miss out on, 50% revenue because I was just eager to get the product off. So sometimes it's not necessarily about the value of your product. It's just the economy as is. You dig? Did that answer your question there? Okay. Go on, Nika.
Just asking, so what's it like owning your business, by the way? How do you feel right now? Like, business?
Thanks, I appreciate that question. It feels good. It's a work in progress. The more you grow as a person individually, is the more your business will grow. I'm happy to be here and have a conversation with you all. As this is going to be one of the only times you get like real, like hear from a real person who's been in the grind, been struggle, homeless, you lost product here, you get charged with X amount of fees and taxes that you weren't expecting, and then you take a loss on your product. You worked on a design for so long and then it doesn't come out, or you're gonna collab with this person and they're on their own wave and then that falls off. So there's a lot of ups and downs. Once you understand that and you feel that, and if you feel sad today, you feel sad today. If you feel sad for the week, you feel sad for the week. But there's a next week coming.
You know, that's actually a really wonderful experience, to be honest, what you're doing and everything.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. And another follow-up question. Do you have a store in Toronto or something? Like, there are, like, if you ever consider having a store in Toronto, there's the Stack Market, the Well, other places.
Yeah.
Like, they do cater to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they'll love to have you.
I've tried reaching out to Stock Market a few times, but to no avail. You know, if someone...
There's a lot of people booking.
Yeah.
I
So
really love to see you at a Stack
Yeah, I see that.
Christmas coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
I would love to see you. Definitely love to see you at the Stack Market and the Well, every market.
Yeah, I could see myself at Stack Market.
The question is, are the shoes available for sale? Or
Yeah, so I have some stock on my website. I don't know if you want to put my website up.
Yeah.
So it's
Or just for, following on Instagram.
yeah, sure. So
Or maybe you can, yeah.
excuse my deplorable handwriting, right? So it's just WJIVE.intl.com and at JIVE INTL on Instagram.
Where did the name come from?
So, thank you. It started off in high school. It was just kind of talk, like we used to say JIVE, just kind of like vibes, good vibes. And then over the years, it transitioned into justified intuition, vivid expression. Yeah. So it just came very organically, very naturally. Why I wanted to start a brand is, again, just being in Trinidad, and there's no brands from Trinidad or the Caribbean that like on that global level per se. Like Supreme is New York, Palace, London, Butter Goods, Australia. And I just was like, yo, why does the Caribbean have nothing? We should have something that's on the world. And yeah, so that's kind of why I started my brand, and here we are today. This month is 10 years actually. So it's a milestone, and I'm happy to be here with you all. This October makes it 10 years. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that was a round of applause for 10 years. But I'm also wondering, because of time, whether we might like to wrap up.
Yeah, sure. I think we just got one more question here.
Oh, sorry,
You said that we don't have a lot of shoe store or like big brands in Caribbean or clothing brand. And
Yeah.
it's so true, because like even if we do one, because my parents are from Haiti.
Dope.
It's very like over there's a lot of brands that are starting up, but it always closed down because people, whenever they think about the Caribbean or Latin America, they think about the whole country and how gang and stuff like that and what's happening in Haiti. So there's a lot
Yeah.
of things,
Yeah.
and it's always like it's I think the oppressive mind or like the colonized mind,
Yeah.
that a lot that has to do with it, because every time they think about the Caribbean, even when I tell people my parents are from Haiti, they're like, oh
my God.
oh my God,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
But a lot of talent comes from there, like
From there.
Oscar de la Renta,
A lot of talent.
Colette Harmon. They just make it big in other countries.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah, I know. It's the consumerism is so different. Yeah.
You gotta talk to your Caribbean Chamber of, Trinidad Chamber of Commerce, or those guys, and shake them up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really nice to hear about a fellow Caribbean person who did
Yeah.
something for the first time, made a shoe brand, so I'm really happy for
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel you 100%. I have a Haiti tea up on my website as well. Like, I do a lot of stuff with countries. I didn't put it in the slideshow. Oh, well, actually, look, funny enough, it's there. Haiti, Trinidad, yeah, that's funny. I didn't even recognize that, yeah. So I do a lot of stuff with countries as well. Call it Country Pride, and spans from Haiti, Nigeria. There's a lot of countries. But, like, yeah, if you guys are interested, you could feel free to dive deeper. Feel free to hit me up. Anything you want to do.
As a way of saying thanks, I think everyone can follow and like anything Jer posts, just hit like it. So that's a good way to say.
I appreciate that.
Say thank you.
Yes.
But we also have a card and a small gift.
Ooh.
So here you go.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate you coming in. Any last words, guys?
Any other question? No, anything?
for the future. Great success.
Sorry?
Great success.
Great
Oh, I
success.
appreciate
Wish you
that.
Success. That's very important. And a quick question.
Yeah, good karma for sure. How can I get a pair of the asphalt in a size 10? Because it's sold out on your
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I was
Yeah.
on already, don't worry.
Yeah. The restock is coming. The restock is coming sooner than you think. This Christmas season is coming. So, but I'll remember that though. I remember to have a size 10 there if you keep posted. Trust me. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Also, thank you to Winnie for bringing your class in. It's really nice to have
Two great,
combined
two
class.
great lecturers here. I would say the best across my experience. I'm not lying. I'm not
We
lying.
didn't pay him for that.
I'm not lying. Like, I'm not lying.
So, Leah's class, please stay behind for a few minutes.
Yes.
Winnie, I think, yeah, we might
I'll go
want
ahead
to
back to our
just,
room.
yeah, have a
Yeah.
few
Grab our
minutes
stuff,
with
yeah.
the class. So,
Yes, yeah, very
yes.
good. Thank you so much,
Thank you
guys.
so
No
much.
problem. Thank you for listening.